Welcome to Empowered. I'm your host, Jessica Flynn of thejessicaflynn.com, and our show is on a mission to unleash local wisdom for widespread impact. We are committed to inspiring positive change in our small community and beyond. And today we are shining light on an organization that is transforming lives right here in our Southern Georgian Bay community. Events for Life is a year-round day program for adults with special needs, providing them with opportunities for social connection, skill building, and lifelong learning in Thornbury and the surrounding area. With over 40 participants, a dedicated team of 12 staff, and a network of more than 40 volunteers, this program is creating a profound impact on individuals and families. So joining me today is Barb Weeden, the Executive Director of Events for Life. Barb has dedicated her career to fostering community recreation, inclusion, and leadership, bringing years of experience from Seneca College and the Tim Hortons Camps Foundation. Her passion for making good things happen is evident in every aspect of Events for Life work. We're also thrilled to welcome Allie Cooper, an Events for Life participant since its inception in 2013, to share her experience firsthand. We'll be talking about how EFL empowers participants to live with confidence, joy, and purpose, the importance of programs like this in our region, and how you can support this life-changing initiative. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Barb and Allie to our set here today. Welcome.
Thank you, Jessica. It's really nice to be here.
Oh, I was just thrilled when you said yes to joining us. We're now through the winter months, so we were able to schedule this in, and I'm so glad that Allie, you were able to join us today as well. Really excited to learn about your experience. So Barb, for those who are not familiar with Events for Life, or we're going to use the acronym EFL, can you start by sharing what Events for Life is and the impact on its participants and their families?
For sure. Well, Events for Life is an awesome program. So we run year-round, and that means we also provide a summer program. And it is for adults that have graduated out of high school, and they get to socialize, they get to recreate, they get to learn life skills, and they get to do that with their friends. So we're located in Thornbury, and we make use of all of the businesses and opportunities locally, and the participants get to enjoy life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. With community support. And I love that part of your program, that it's not, you have a location, everything's done there. We see Events for Life out in the community,
right.
Which is one of the reasons why we really wanted to learn more and dig in and really celebrate the work that you're doing.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we're a not-for-profit charity, and we were the organization started in 2013.
Okay.
So it's a real grassroots organization.
Yeah.
And again, through the towns of Meaford and Thornbury is where the program started. And now we are 2025 with almost 40 participants in our program.
And where do your participants come from? Mostly that Thornbury, Meaford area? Would you draw from outside of that as well?
So we draw from Wasaga Beach, Collingwood, all through the town of the Blue Mountains, into Meaford. We go out to Markdale. We have a participant lives in Markdale, and then a few come from Owen Sound.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
That's quite the stretch.
Yeah.
That's really important work. So Allie, you've seen Events for Life grow tremendously. It's been about 12 years now of it in operation. So do you know what inspired the creation of Events for Life?
So at 21, when you're done high school, there's really nothing for us to do. We can't go to university or college or do anything like that. So Shelley started the program in 2013 because she saw the need for people like us to have something to do. So that summer we had 6 participants, and we did it all. We camped, we hiked, we kayaked, we canoed, we played minute-to-win-it games, we cooked, we went for tractor rides, and we had bonfires.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
No wonder you've been around for 12 years.
Yes.
Who would want to leave that?
No
like
one.
Permanent summer camp.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And that's Shelley. Who was the founder?
So Shelley Higginson,
Higginson.
and she was an educational assistant in the high school that Allie went to. And Shelley, I guess all of you, the 6 of you, were in a class together, and you can stay in high school until you're 21 if you're an adult with special needs. And they had nothing to do that summer, so Shelley invited them out to her farm and ran this summer program. And then September came. It's like, oh, now what are they going to do?
Right.
So Shelley rented the basement of the United Church in Thornbury, and I think a couple more participants joined in at that point. There's about 8 of them, and they were in the United Church in Thornbury for a couple of years. And then it was a big fundraising event, a big barn dance, that there was an amazing family from our area who heard Shelley's story, and they offered up the use of the home on their property. And there's a double garage and a network of trails.
Wow.
And so we're very, very, very thankful to this family for letting us move into that property. And so we've been there since 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an incredible story. I came from the education world. I'm still in the education world, but I was a teacher and had very close relationships with the EAs that I worked with, and we're still in connection. And I think EAs are some of the absolute unsung heroes of our education system, and it sounds like Shelley just took it to the next level, and here we are 12 years later. So kudos to her as well.
Yeah.
So Barb, there are many wonderful programs that Events for Life runs throughout the year, but Events for Life takes a really unique approach to how you program and the work that you do. So what sets you apart from maybe other programs that might be available for Allie and her cohort?
Right. I think what sets us apart is first of all, the staff that we have been able to retain are fantastic. And so we're able to do curriculum-based learning, which involves, lifelong learning skills. So teaching the participants to live independently. So whether that's cooking, whether it's safety in the community, often the local OPP community officers will come and spend time with the participants to even talk about walking safely, how to live safely, do bike safety. So helping them live in the community, working towards living independently. And then we're out and about in the community. So we make use of, let's say, Live Life Fit, for example, is a fitness facility in Thornbury. And so we go there for fitness, and we make use of the Beaver Valley Community Center. So we're there to do pickleball, and we're in the library, and we have a double car garage that's our workshop. And over the years, the participants, and this one right here is one of the best at creating some really unique, one-of-a-kind crafts. And so during the year, we'll have craft sales to sell our crafts, which are, that gives the participants a real good sense of purpose.
Yes, Allie, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
We should add that to your title as well. I had
Yes.
no
We
idea.
should.
What are some of the crafts that you like to make?
I like to make crafts on the Cricut. The Cricut is connected to a computer, so the computer will send a signal to the Cricut to tell it what it wants it to make, and then the Cricut makes it, and then we just weed out what we don't need and put it on wood, and then...
Incredible.
Yeah.
And then you can sell it. So we're really getting a picture of why this program is so critical in programs like this. But Barb, in your own words, can you tell us, what is so important about this kind of work coming from your organization?
Right. So I love using the words joy and purpose and inclusion.
Yeah.
And I don't know what our participants would be doing if we didn't have a program like this. The joy that they get every day, the fun and the friendship, but also the learning and the community relationships that are happening. Like some of our participants get part-time jobs as of a result of the relationships that we have in the community. So really it's that sense of purpose. And I'm not going to speak for you, Allie, but it's an excitement to get up in the morning,
Yeah.
and it's not like they're going to work, they're going to EFL.
Yeah.
And they know that they're going to have fun, and their parents are filled with joy knowing that
Well, I was going to say, I assume that joy and purpose is also felt among the volunteers and
Yes.
staff and even your community
Yeah.
partners as well. So it's not just,
Yeah.
you receiving programming, it's the community receiving you and your friends and this incredible experience together as a community.
Well, and often volunteers will say that they get more joy out of being in this program, just being with the participants.
Yeah.
So that's really nice to hear too.
Yeah, wonderful. So Allie, we talked a little bit about your cricket skills. What are some of the other skills that have helped you lead a more independent and confident life?
So we are doing culinary, so we are learning how to cook, we are learning how to shop, we are learning how to budget money.
Ah, so smart. How to shop, especially right now in this economy, how to shop for groceries and budget.
Yeah, and how to use, there's an app called Flip.
Okay.
So you can actually type in what grocery you're looking for, and it'll bring up probably 3 or 4 different flyers. So
Brilliant.
then you can see like what's on sale, where,
Yeah.
and if it's Canadian or not, but the symbols are super small.
Right. So
Yeah.
yes, with everything that's going on, you're also
Yes.
looking at how to make more
Yeah.
conscious buying decisions.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I also heard before we started filming that you were on the Special Olympics basketball team.
Yeah, so I've been a part of Special Olympics for over 10 years as well. And I've competed at the provincial and national level.
No big deal.
No big deal.
We just have
Right.
a
We're
national
fine.
athlete on
Yep.
set. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And what have you learned? Like, what's been one of your highlights in your basketball career?
Inclusion, definitely. Everybody includes everybody. It doesn't matter what your special need is, you don't get judged. You can just go and be yourself.
And shouldn't that just be the way everywhere, right? Not just within these pockets of your experience, but and
Yeah.
that's the intention too with sharing this message and sharing this work is just to empower the community to really embrace everyone, every member of the community as our own.
And I could add into kindness, that it is really woven into everything that we do. The participants, it was a couple of years ago, we bought a button making machine. And so they made their own custom kind buttons. And we partnered with the local Rotary, and they used the buttons as part of their kindness campaign. We've had containers of the kindness buttons in the Good Grief coffee shop, and people could donate and take a button. But that's part of our lifelong learning is we've got to be good people
Yeah.
and treat people with kindness. And I think that we do a pretty good job of that.
Yeah.
And one of our mottos that we used is, in a world where you can be right or be kind, choose kind.
That's right.
Always. Beautiful. Well, what a great way to go to our break. We're learning so much about Events for Life, which is doing really good work for young adults with special needs in our community and the surrounding area. So stay tuned, and we will be back with Barb and Allie from Events for Life. Welcome back to Empowered. I'm your host, Jessica Flynn, and I'm thrilled today to be having a conversation with Allie Cooper and Barb Weeden from Events for Life. We have been learning all about this incredible organization in our own communities. Barb, can you tell us a success story? I mean, we're learning so much about Allie and your experience and all the incredible things that you're learning and accomplishing. Can you tell us a little more about what goes on, some of the successes?
Sure. There's one young lady in particular that I would like to highlight. She left high school early. We said earlier you can stay in high school till you're 21 if you have special needs. And she was just not functioning well in high school. So her family pulled her out of school, and she came into our program, and she can't read or write, and a little bit of color blindness, and she had to have support of a one-to-one worker. And the one-to-one worker, I think, was about 2 years of our program, and then she didn't need the support anymore and joined the rest of the participants. Wow. And just really thrived. And her parents ended up renovating an old house in Collingwood, and she has moved on, which was one of our goals, is for the participants to live independently. Right. And she now lives with another young lady, and they get supported by one of the government programs where a couple days a week a worker will come in and help them go grocery shopping. But other than that, she's living independently. Wow. And it's, we're just so proud of her. Yeah.
That's a success story.
Right?
Wow.
I know, that's what we're striving for. And we have another participant, and this goes back a few years, and she has schizophrenia, and she was really doing well in our program, and she's now living, she was in a group home and now living independently in Owen Sound.
Beautiful.
I know, it's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Right?
Like you really are changing lives, not only for these individuals, but for their families and their community as well.
Yeah, and it's such a relief for the parents.
Wow.
You know, it's a full-time job as a parent that has an adult child with special needs. So for them to have that sense of security and know that their child is safe.
And to be continued in their support, right? Just in a lesser way, so that they can maintain that independence.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Allie, what is your favorite? I mean, again, it's been over 12 years where you've been a part of this incredible organization. What keeps you coming back? What's your favorite part?
So my favorite part of Events for Life has to be the staff. When you walk in the morning, the staff are so happy to see you. They make you feel like you're included. If you're upset about something, they will talk to you about it so that they can get to the bottom of why you're upset. And people like Barb, they're just amazing people. They come down, they make sure we're okay. If we get injured, they fill out an incident report form for us. They make sure that everything is going good during the day. And if you have any questions or concerns, you know you can always go to them.
Yeah, they're really an extension of your family, aren't they? That's incredible. So while we're on the topic of the staff, can you tell us a little bit, Barb, about your volunteers and what their job looks like? Who gets called to this kind of volunteer work that you've seen?
Right. Well, we actually have 10 employed staff members.
Wow.
So we have program facilitators that facilitate the program, and they make use of one of the big smart boards, which again makes us a little bit more unique, that everything is, you know, people can see, that's how they learn, people need to hear, that's how they learn, and some people need to do it. So the staff are really good at satisfying all three of those domains of learning. And then we provide one-to-one support and sometimes a 2-to-1 support for individuals that need, you know, just a little help, or maybe, you know, help in the community when they're out for a walk. And then our volunteers are amazing, and we've had volunteers come and go over the years, but they're part of our family. When we have large events during the year, they always come and support us. And the volunteers, if they have a specialty, like Louise, for example, is a photographer, so she comes and does digital camera photography with the participants. The things that they can produce is absolutely phenomenal. So you're learning how to become a photographer. Okay. Exactly. We've got musicians that will come and play. We've got some volunteers that are excellent cooks that will help them bake or cook, and volunteers will help with our special events. So they're amazing, and again, they feel more fulfilled as a volunteer sometimes than I think the participants do. They love it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a great way to get involved in your community.
Exactly.
And to give
A
back.
good way to give back, yeah.
Yeah. So, Allie, what's something that you would like people watching at home to know about you and the other participants in Events for Life?
So our participants' special needs range from everything from autism to Down syndrome to verbal autism to nonverbal autism to needing picture symbols to communicate, to people like me who are more high functioning. So we don't need the one-to-one support as much, but we still know that the staff are there if we need help. To learning to read, to learning to write, to learning to draw, to learning to, you name it.
Wow.
The staff are there to help us do it.
Wow. I didn't realize that there's such a diverse spectrum of the types of participants that need this programming. Yeah, incredible. And how about you in particular? You know, have you ever run up against misconceptions around someone in the community or someone in your world?
So in high school, I was treated very poorly. People told me I was going into a mentally retarded classroom. And I turned around and I said, no, I'm not. I said, we learn differently than you guys,
Wow,
but that doesn't mean that we're stupid.
Yeah.
It means that we have a different way of learning than you do, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Well, and look at everything that you are accomplishing and your peers are accomplishing. And during the break too, we talked about another one of your peers getting medals on a world stage in the Special Olympics as well.
Yeah, so Julian Hudson went away to Worlds for skiing, for alpine skiing, and he came home with 2 bronze medals and a gold medal.
Shout out to Julian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And he works at our EFL café.
Okay.
So he brings a lot of joy too.
Let's use that as our segue to talk about this EFL Cafe. So, Barb, can you tell us kind of how it started and what the structure of that program is?
Sure. So we're very thankful to the town of the Blue Mountains and the Beaver Valley Community Center has we'll call it a snack bar.
Yes.
And it's been it was sitting vacant. So they approached us and asked if that would be something that we would like to take over. So, of course, yes, new opportunity. How can we make this work?
Yeah.
So it is a work experience. So during the week when our program is operating, 2 or 3 participants will go over to the cafe and there'll be a volunteer and a staff member there. And the community can come in for lunch. We're open from 11 to 1. So there's different parts of the cafe that provide that experience. So somebody might be making the coffee, somebody's on the grill making sandwiches, somebody might be helping with a deep fryer, and then they have learned customer service skills.
Wow.
And learned how to use the point
POS,
system at the front. So again, giving them the training where they could possibly work in another business. So it also, I guess it took a couple of years and the participants were able to get employment. So Allie is one of the participants that will work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Fridays is curling. The Apple Kings hockey team plays there on the weekends, and so we had the snack bar open for the hockey teams, and there was lots of tournaments. So we start with a fall fair in September, and then we stay open till the end of March.
Wow, wow. And what an incredible, as an employer too out in the community, I would imagine, what better kind of primer to hiring someone in your own business, regardless of what your learning style is, to have that kind of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you really enjoyed working there, Allie?
Oh yeah. We learn a lot of different skills. So I've learned a lot of like money management skills. So how to make change.
Yes.
And it's been a lot of fun. We've met a lot of really great people in the community who can now come in and you know what their order is, so you can put their order in and they can call you by name. So we can actually have like full conversations with them.
Fantastic. That's incredible. Barb, we talked about why programs like this are so critical and important, but I think in our area being rural, can you speak to maybe that extra level of importance or that differentiation of, you know, someone like Allie, what your experience is in more rural community?
Right. Well, it means the parents have to drive them to Events for Life, so, you know, that's another barrier. There isn't transportation. And there aren't any programs that are in the rural areas. So what would you be doing if you didn't have a chance to come into a program like this? Most likely sitting at home and watching TV.
Right.
So it's very important that we're able to reach those individuals in the rural communities and have the community support as well.
Yeah. There's so much to learn about this organization, and your website is a great hub to direct people to, whether it's to get involved as a business, as a partner, to volunteer. Can you tell us about some of the events that Events for Life runs in the spring, summer, and some fundraising initiatives that are important for the organization as well?
For sure. Well, we'll highlight 2 videos that are on our website. The participants learned American Sign Language a couple of years ago.
Wow.
And so there's videos that we have produced that are amazing. So one of the events would have been a spring fling, and that's when we showed the video to the community, which was amazing. In the summer, we have a high tea, which is in July 24th, and that's at the community center. And that grows and grows every year. And this year, we're hoping to serve between 100 and 120 people.
Get ready, Allie.
Right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Better start making those sandwiches now.
Amazing.
That's incredible.
And we always have a Christmas craft sale. So, visit our website to see and learn about the upcoming events.
Okay. And Events for Life, we're hearing, really thrives on community support. So how can businesses and the broader community get involved in supporting this life-changing work?
Well, one business we'll highlight is the Lily Pad Spa, and they've opened up the front porch, and we sell women's clothing, so gently used clothing and accessories, and that's a work experience for our participants. So if you think about in your business, what are some things that you're paying someone to do that maybe we could do for you? So we put stickers on the pie boxes as an example for Goldsmiths for their bakery, and the pizza boxes at Justin's Oven, we stamp their pizza boxes for them.
So get creative and think,
right.
outside the
And
box.
some of our participants just love that routine. They're so good at it. Routine is very important to them. So,
and I imagine you'll be looking for volunteers for some of these events.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And some businesses often will have a volunteer day. Like maybe they would like to come and help us with our spring cleanup, or they would like the employees to come and do some work at one of our programs for the day.
Okay. Well, there's so much more to talk about, and that's why we'll put your website again here for the show. But thank you so much for coming out and joining us and sharing even just a sliver of this incredible story. Thank you for watching. Be sure to go to the Events for Life website to learn more about how you may be able to participate or support this beautiful organization. Until next time, this was Empowered with Jessica Flynn, and we'll look forward to seeing you again.